Hello, welcome to another episode of the G.I. Joe New News Review. I am David Allen, and this is our Hasbro Pulse June 2025 PulseCon review. So we're going to cover all the surprising developments in the Pulse event. We're going to talk about some of the new renders, the new leaked figures and items. We're going to go over some of the secret stuff that they covered in the PulseCon event. So strap in. This is going to be an interesting episode. So here we go. So first off, they started this with the Dreadnoks, the Cold Slither Dreadnoks set. So we're going to watch a little bit of this, and we'll talk about this in a minute.
Hello, G.I. Joe fans, and welcome to another kickoff event of Yo Joe June. It's kind of hard to believe that it's already June. It feels like time just absolutely flew by this year.
This year flew by.
Which is a little weird. Time has no meaning anymore, but we're really excited because it's Yo Joe June, and we get to hang out with you guys. So you will get to see an update from us every week for Yo Joe June, which is delightful. Lots of new G.I. Joe news to come, and we are really, really excited to get to show you a lot of the cool stuff that we have been working on. So we've got name-only reveals, we've got digital render reveals, we've got pre-orders, we've got...
A smorgasbord.
Oh, beautiful.
Board?
Yes. Oh, somebody in the comments will tell us.
It's a board. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, it happens. Nice cover. Thank you.
That was beautiful. But we're really excited. You may have seen some news coming out with our kind of favorite band, our band of Vipers, Cold Slither. Some exciting announcements coming out. Actually, yesterday with a press release. So for all of the latest and greatest on Cold Slither, make sure you're checking out the @Cold Slither official social channels with our friend over at RPM, who are absolutely killing it.
Yes.
But I noticed that last time we did a fan stream, you guys waited for me to leave.
What are you talking about?
Then brought out a figure that I said not to announce.
I thought she would never see that.
Right, because it wasn't posted on the internet already.
No, it doesn't live forever now.
So in honor of that, why don't we just show everybody the entire offering so that you can see everything that is going to come with our new Cold Slither Classified Series set that will be available for purchase at San Diego Comic-Con at the Hasbro booth for the first time, with whatever remaining quantities may exist after the show available online at HasbroPulse.com after the event is over.
Let's get after it.
How's that sound? Great. All right.
What do you want to do? You want to do an assembly line kind of deal? Yeah. It's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of parts and pieces of this one. It's a very cool set.
Start with you guys seen already, Mr. Zartan.
What a very practical yellow shade of pant.
That's right. They glow pretty hard in black light. And then we got Ripper just ripping a solo.
Beautiful.
Here we go.
We've learned the hard way that this is it's a wonderful to have a turntable, but if you weight it incorrectly, all the figures fall off.
It's brutal.
I'll just hold the side while we're putting figures on.
We got Torch tickling them keys, and then here's the drum set, or the bass drum with the Cold Slither on the front. We did like a matte finish so it would feel like a drum set. And we should have got a riser, dude. Oh, shit.
It's fine. Next time.
We got the floor tom. We got the bass pedal. They gotta upgrade to a double bass pedal at some point in time. No, we need to hit those triplets. And then we got our hi-hat. I should have probably showed it to the camera. Hi-hat, look. Yay.
We're still adjusting to our new camera layouts in our streaming studio, so bear with us.
Snare drum.
Look at you just naming all the things.
That's right. And what is that, a splash or something like that? I don't know. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know.
That's a stool.
Yeah. And then this is... Yes, indeed.
Got one.
All right, and then
Check this guy out.
Mr. Buzzer. Yeah. He's got
on that guy.
He's out of his mind with the crazy pearl necklace, and then we got Cold Slither on the back of his sweet denim jacket.
All new goggles.
Goggles come off.
Fun.
Really fun. I'm super pumped about this set. It's so insane. And to think, we were like, can we even do that? I remember BMAC was like, you're doing that set.
Yes.
Which was the greatest thing he's ever forced upon us.
I think that it's, to me, San Diego Comic-Con exclusives are an opportunity to do something that's weird and kind of niche.
Oh, yeah.
But like something that may not necessarily perform super well at like a mainline store.
Mm-hmm.
But so to me, this is the perfect San Diego Comic-Con exclusive because
Mm-hmm.
it is just weird enough. But also, like, who doesn't want a 6-inch scale drum kit to use across perhaps any of your other lines that are 6-inch scale figures?
The fact that you're saying that, it really lines up with the G.I. Joe line. We are creating a world of the 1/12 scale. And you need a band in a world of, and here it is. And, you know, G.I. Joe provides a lot of awesome source material that allows us to kind of get deep into that collection. So it's really fun for us to create this stuff, and hopefully you guys are having a good time collecting it.
Yeah, and just seeing the
So that was really cool to get all the Cold Slither complete reveal here with all the accessories and the drum kit and everything. And Emily said something very, very interesting there. This is a unique set that's not for everybody. It's the perfect item for a San Diego Comic-Con because that's what you want. You want something that's exclusive, but not everybody's going to want this. The guys that are the OG-13 military guys, they're probably going to sit this one out. I'm just guessing there, but I don't think this is going to be for those guys. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, you can let me know in the chat. But I think this is a wonderful set. I'll be definitely getting at least one. I'm not sure what the pricing on this is yet. They have not announced it. I was hoping for about 120, 25, but it may be more than that. It may be upwards of 150. I'm not sure. I hope it's closer to the 125. They've been very reasonable with the pricing on a lot of these things, so I'm hoping that it's in the 125 range. So let's continue.
toy photography.
I cannot wait.
What people are going to do with these.
Yes, it's going to be
and
insane.
what our own photography team, of course, did when you guys start seeing those pictures. Incredible.
Yeah, absolutely
They went
incredible.
Over the top, so.
Pictures are coming soon, so you'll be able to see those as we get a little bit closer to launching all of our kind of diorama photography for all of our San Diego Comic-Con items. But this is pretty great. So just as a reminder, this set will be available exclusively at San Diego Comic-Con in the Hasbro booth with whatever quantities are remaining after the show to be put up online at HasbroPulse.com sometime after the close of the show. Beautiful. Okay, so great. Cold Slither, check. As we are kind of going through our usual cadence, name-only reveals.
All right, so they said that this is going to be available in small quantities after the fact on Yojo for San Diego Comic-Con after the fact on PulseCon. So I think that's really a good note to take from this, is that we can still get this after. Hopefully there'll be enough of these. They've been showing this off since Toy Fair in the end of February. So we've seen that a lot of these are probably going to be made, and hopefully we're in that window, that tariffs window, that 3-month window. Maybe they got them all over here now and we're getting a head start on this stuff. So I'm really, really hoping that we can at least everybody can get one, and the people that want one will be able to get it. So I'm going to continue on this.
Sick.
Do you each want to do one?
Sure.
Okay, great. John.
So they're going to go into the name-only drops here. And so some of this stuff is really cool. If you watch my video from earlier in the week, I mentioned there was a list of characters that were leaked and items that were leaked around January, and the Full Force Chris McLeod covered that list, and I showed that, talked about that list and named all that list, and you'll see that one of these items is on that list.
Mind if I lead us off?
Yeah, please.
So I don't forget it?
Go for it.
All right. Steel Core Sentry Defense Post with Defense Post.
Beautiful.
That was great.
That
I
was
think I
great.
nailed that one,
You
right?
practiced that.
So steel core sentry with a defense post. I'm hoping that's like the vintage um, uh, thing that they had that you could get. It was like a entrance, like to the pit or whatever, one of those entrance type things, and you can put Law and Order there or whatever. But it's going to come with a different version of the steel core as a sentry, so that's different. So I guess we're going to get a lot of steel cores as troop builder type situations, because now we have at least two or two steel cores, so this would be the third.
It was
Let you guys marinate on that one too. I'm not gonna give you any more, but you get that.
The battle will grow.
Perhaps as part of the world of G.I. Joe.
That is
World building,
correct.
Interesting.
And speaking of the world, let's go to the desert with the desert scorpion and the pet scorpion.
I can't wait for that one.
That one, I say it all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to say.
They're my favorite too.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So that was the character that I was talking about. That was one of the leaked characters that was on this list that was shared by the Full Force and Chris McLeod, Diagnostic 80 in January. The Desert Scorpion with a pet scorpion or robotic scorpion or whatever. And the vintage one had a huge robotic scorpion with it. So that's going to be interesting. That makes me think that most of the characters on that list, we're getting them probably, because a lot of them have already come out. A lot of them have leaked. We've seen renders, we've seen different production samples of them and different things like that. So I believe a lot of that's probably going to come out now.
All right, so we have our 2 name only reveals for today. So then we've got 3 digital render reveals. One of them is kind of cheating because it already came out for, I want to say, G.I. Joe Day, maybe? Remember how we were saying that time has no meaning? Somebody in the comments will correct me.
Yeah.
But wanted to just kind of recap our Ostriker. Because this thing is incredible.
I don't think we got Lenny's notes on it, right?
We did not get Lenny's notes on the Ostriker. You're right.
The All-Striker has a removable back roll cage so that you can get a little bit closer to the old school look, but we wanted to make it feel like a more modern, all-terrain military vehicle, and that's what the longer nose on it is actually taken from. The tires on it are very rubber. You can squeeze them and squish them. So we did this. We looked at what RC cars had on their tires and how they're able to mold that, and we're able to push the molding parameters to kind of get a more detailed, gnarly looking tire. It has a communicator or a radio comm on it that actually has a little phone cord, I guess they're called, on the radio, so the figures can actually hold them, just like we did on Law and Order on his vest. We also put in there a coffee cup. It's got a differential on the front so that it can turn side to side. That does not work with the steering wheel, just because of the parameters of fitting the figure inside of it and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
And it also comes with 2 bazookas on top that are removable. It comes with a machine gun on top that can be manned by the 3rd figure in the back with
Perfect.
the optional removable seat. That is why that removable seat is there, so that somebody can actually be managing the machine gun.
It's like you thought of everything.
It's kind of crazy. Also, it comes with some stow case for your tools on the side, so you can put stuff inside the toolbox, which I thought would be pretty funny, as well as a whole bunch of other little tiny details that we can get into at another day.
Perfect. Sounds fun.
I'm really pumped about it. It's really cool.
If you couldn't tell based on how excited Lenny was talking about that. So more details to come on the Ostriker at a later fan stream.
So yeah, the Ostriker looks really, really cool. I'm really looking forward to that. I hope all those details and stuff like that, I hope they show at a later fan stream that off and get into all the motor and get into all those details like they described and they talked about. I'm glad that they did bring this up. I know some people weren't too happy with it on here because we saw it in February, but I'm happy that we got another discussion point over the Ostriker, because I had dozens of Ostrikers when I was a kid. I went through those like they were nothing, and I played with them. I threw them down the hill. They were one of my favorite vehicles that I had as a child, and Crankcase was a funny character. So we're gonna move on.
But we have 2 more digital render reveals to show off today. So first off, we have our new addition to our Legacy collection, which is going to be our new police officer.
Oh yeah, the police officer is pretty awesome. He comes with a rain poncho. He also comes with a policeman's hat, as well as he comes with coffee as well.
Nice.
Apparently Joe's having trouble staying awake, I guess.
Everybody needs caffeine.
But
That's
then
fine.
he can also be not upgraded, probably a bad word, but more armored up rather to have a riot mask and shield. We put a lot of detail into that from a deco standpoint. He also comes with a flare gun as well as pistol. Super fun figure. A lot of other details on there, accessories as well, as you can see on the screen. Tony, want to tell him about the paint a little bit because it's really subtle and
Very, very subtle, but we want to get that right dark, rich blue that the uniforms had. So anyway, we had like experimented with a few different shades, and I think we got there. I'm happy with the result. And of course, the 2 portraits that you get, super happy with the way they came out. The face prints on those look really nice.
And we got a nice matte finish in the latest sample.
Yes.
It's looking really sharp.
Yeah, a lot. As you guys know, kind of the 60th collection leading into this Legacy collection, a lot of mixing and matching, building out those kind of troops or armies or however you want to call it. There's going to be a lot of good variety in there.
Yeah. I can't wait to see people doing urban situations or towns and stuff like that. Again, building out that world and the seeing what people do. Because again, you could have a everyday policeman, or you can have a guy that's getting ready to take out some big situation. So it's really fun to see what we will get from this photography from people.
I love it. All right, so that was our
So that was the Legacy Collection police officer. So we knew we were going to get another Legacy figure this year. We weren't sure what it was going to be. We thought it was going to be more of a riot type policeman or whatever. But they surprised me again with this, where now you can incorporate multiple different versions of the policeman. So it makes it much more like a troop builder type of situation, where you can get a bunch of these and do different things and put them in different positions and different areas if you need to hold people back or attack a building or whatever. You can do a lot with this this policeman. I think it's a really cool figure. I love this collection. I can't imagine what they're going to do next. I'm hoping it's some sort of a paramedic ambulance type of a character that we get, and then down the road that will lead into a Lifeline figure, because I know some of this stuff is all reused from different figures. There's a couple of new things, but it's a lot of reuse. But I love it though.
our second digital render reveal of the day. And last but not least, as represented on Lenny's shirt, that's right, it is our new Renegade, Sergeant Slaughter and Mercer.
So as you can see on the screen, Slaughter, we went more of the Renegades look, of course. We got the bandolier on there. We got more of that kind of like desert camo vibe going on with him. I'm really excited about this figure. Also, you can see he's got a whistle in his mouth. That was Tony's idea. I was like, we need something new.
We were
Something
looking for a little,
different.
something
Yeah.
fresh. And,
Yeah.
and every picture, every thought I have of Sarge is that whistle dangling.
Yeah.
It's just great to have that secondary piece in there, stuck in there with that chin and that grizzled look. So
Yeah,
thank you for executing that.
So thank you for having a great idea.
Yeah, yes.
And Matt, our sculptor, did a really good job of executing it.
For sure.
From a construction standpoint. We also have Mercer in the pack. As you guys know, Mercer's like the quintessential Marauder, as you can see there. We went with more of his 80s cartoon look from the movie. We wanted him to feel a little more old school at the same time, still classified up from a design standpoint. And then, of course, you can see in the image all of the weapons that come with.
It's ridiculous.
I was kind of like, we need more weapons.
Yeah.
So we took the opportunity to fill his pack with weapons. My favorite is the grenade launcher.
That thing's
It's
massive.
awesome.
It's so good. Yeah.
If you're crafty, you can put some of the blast effects in there, and it will look like it's kind of like ka-kunk, ka-kunk shooting out.
Yeah.
It does not make that noise.
No,
You have to make that noise.
no, you have to be
Yeah.
a giant man baby and make that noise.
As going with Joe, though, you make those noises.
You make those
Yeah.
as you put them on your shelf. Ka-kunk.
Yeah.
And that's how you put them down.
Yeah.
Ka-kunk.
Kakunks.
Ka-kunk.
It's a fresh kakunk.
Yeah, but this is an awesome set.
Yeah, and the two portraits for Mercer are sweet.
Yeah.
That, like kind of
Yeah.
more aggressive look, and I love the shades that you put in with them too. Those
I
orange.
felt like the missed opportunity with him was the shades, because he had the flat top and the accent.
Flat
And I
top.
feel like the shades go perfect with that.
Yeah.
We also put some subtle details on him too. He's got like a spiderweb tattoo on his elbow on the back, which you're not seeing. He's got some cool little details on him to kind of zhuzh him up a little bit, but not overboard.
Hinting at his past
Yep,
profession.
he was an ex-Viper, right? So he's done some time.
Yeah.
He's reformed.
So this was all 3 of our digital render reveals for today, or digital render reveal recaps for today. So more information on these 3 items to come later in.
So the Sergeant Slaughter and Mercer, we knew that was on the way. We got a name only drop from Emily, and she accidentally dropped the other 2, Taurus and Red Dog, as a 2-pack down the road. Now I love the fact that this comes with the Sergeant Slaughter with another extra head with the whistle, and I love that it has another Mercer head. I love those details that they add, like that spider web on the elbow. Now there's been a little bit of a controversy based around Mercer, because people are like, wait a minute, why isn't he as big as Sergeant Slaughter? This Mercer, it's been said in previous PulseCons that it's going to be based on the traditional vintage O-ring figure from the 80s, and not the skybound, really hench version of Mercer in there. So we'll have to wait and see if we ever get another Mercer, or maybe a different version of Mercer, an early version. I don't know. But Sergeant Slaughter has got to be bigger than Mercer, and so he is in this video, or this set. And I love it. I think, look at all the weapons that thing comes with. It's going to be an incredible, incredible set. So let's get back to this.
Yojo June, perhaps at San Diego Comic-Con. We'll find out all together.
All to unfold as Yojo June blossoms.
Ooh, that was beautiful.
You like that?
That was really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
So we have 3 pre-orders that are going to be launching today. I've made no qualms about expressing my love of the glory that is Ninja Force. No. And so I think, if we don't mind, could we please start with our new Ninja Force 2-pack of Slice and Dice?
I've got no qualms with that.
Excellent.
If I may.
Yes.
Oh.
One of my favorites as a child.
That's not
weird. And yet no rooted hair.
You ruined the rooted.
I absolutely love this set. I think it's one of the best 2-packs they've ever made. It is so cool. And I've always been a fan of Slice and Dice when I was young as well.
Accessories and the world building, like, these guys come with so much stuff, and I think it's beautiful because even the named figures that you're doing can kind of translate into a troop builder.
Yes.
Vibe.
Thank you, Counting Old Crow. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
And so it's a beautiful set.
I'm happy you mentioned that, because that's kind of part of the design vision of this pack. We wanted to make, again, the 2-pack of Slice and Dice, everybody's favorite Ninja Force ninjas. We went with the theme with Dice of going this whole dragon style. If you remember on the package, it said dragon style was his attack. So if you look here, I don't know if the camera can get it, and hopefully they don't fall off the standees, but we put dragon maws on the axes to kind of give him that dragon vibe. And then on Slice, he has a scorpion, because he had scorpion style, so we did scorpion details. There's a scorpion claw on the bottom of his sword. We actually, when we were posing him, the one sword flew somewhere, but we don't know where it went. I think we were popping boxes too quickly, so he comes with 2 hook swords, but one...
There's almost 2 of everything here,
yes.
Which is wild. And also just the almost kind of alternate head that almost troop builder had. Which
is based on a scorpion.
And it's so cool. The sculpt came out amazing.
Yeah, so we have the scorpion head and we have the dragon head. Now, getting to the troop builder aspect of it, you'll notice that Dice has some red details on them. That's on purpose. That's so that you can mix and match their parts to make whatever ninja you'd like to make. So how do you mix and match to make some sort of cool Ninja Force troop builder to really play out that huge ninja battle that I love seeing the Instagrams of when they get like 25 blue ninjas and Storm Shadow just wrecking them. Yes. It's awesome. And then on top of that, we added kind of like the shadowy hero kind of thing from a lot of old school Japanese movies. This is the rice paddy hat, and you could put it on either figure. And then also the cloak, I think it's called a muffler. Mm-hmm. And then you could put it on either character. They're all kind of like set up right now. I put it on there, but going to get a little squirrely if we did that.
So you can see it at San Diego Comic-Con when they're on display at the Hasbro booth with a booth number that I do not currently have memorized off the top of my head, but we'll report back on for the next fan stream. Great news, it's the same booth we've been in for years.
It's the giant one that when you walk in?
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, it says Hasbro on it?
Yeah.
And also, a nice little detail you put in there was that handle inside the hat.
Oh,
as
yes.
well, so it could, please.
So the idea here was to make a shield. So you can take the hat off and use it as a shield. Yeah. And I thought it'd be kind of cool. And I had these like little razors on the edge.
Yeah.
Also on Slice, he has his sai that was sculpted into his arm. We made it a removable part because it's classified. It's what you do. Anyways, Slice and Dice. We're going on a mile a minute here.
I mean, it's worth it. That's a great set of figures.
There's a lot of stuff in here.
Super pumped.
So Slice.
So Slice and Dice is like one of my favorite Ninja core Ninja Force figures, characters, and the fact that they've given them some backstory, Scorpion clan and Dragon clan, and you can make them the mysterious lone samurai type of character, and you can mix and match, and the fact that they pulled that sword out of the side of the elbow there, they are going to the next level with this set. This is, like I said, this is probably one of the best sets I've ever seen as a 2-pack, and there's been some really good ones, but this takes the cake. I love the hat that's a shield and stuff like that. It's like almost Mortal Kombat meets G.I. Joe. It's really, really cool. So let's continue on.
Dice are a Hasbro Pulse exclusive offering. So for any of those Hasbro Pulse premium members, you have an exclusive 1-hour window to pre-order this item starting at 12 p.m. Eastern time, and then 1 o'clock Eastern time for all of our other friends. It's been a while since we've done this, so we get excited.
It's been a while. My beard grew back.
Your beard
Not that would take it any time, anyways. But,
so we're going to move on to the next pre-order item. Let's bring out next. What do you think of our friend Budo?
Oh, what a great follow-up.
Excellent, thank you. That was a planned segue. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
So Budo, we won the push.
Excellent.
Budo is a deluxe figure.
Beautiful.
What you're seeing here is Budo in his, I would say, armored up version. So we wanted to play into the idea that Budo has a legacy in his family of samurai. So what you're seeing here is Budo in his grandfather's samurai armor.
Amazing.
So all of the pieces are removable.
So the Budo photography was leaked last week, and so we got to see all these different versions of Budo, and it's like 3 or 4 different variations you can make of this Budo. It's probably the best Budo figure I've ever seen. I love the ceremonial Budo. I love the normal, regular Budo. I like this armored up samurai style. I like his traditional Joe style, zhuzhed up, like they always like to call it, the classifying up and zhuzhed up. So let's continue. So
as you see here, his vest is removable. His grass cloak is removable. His I'll spin it so you guys can see it. He has his long sword, daikatana sheath is in the back. He's actually holding his daikatana. His tanto in his other hand, and then he has his katana in the sheath currently. And then his girdle armor is also removable, and it could swap with his more modern gear. In the more modern gear, we wanted to go with this kind of more special forces mixed with Japanese samurai vibe, which is based on the old school toy. We kind of push it a little further. We put more of a split mail. We put more scales on it, which is really, I'm super pumped about this figure. It's going to be super fun. What we're not showing you, actually, what we're not having on here is his samurai armor. The shin pads actually go on his shins as well to really update it even more. But I wanted to show that parts and pieces are exchangeable on here. So it's kind of like a, lack of a better word, dress up.
Yeah.
Armor up.
But I mean, that's kind of how we've always talked about G.I. Joe figures, is that they really just are they're action figures that play dress up. And it's so cool, especially as you're, again, with the world of and all of that world building, creating all of these kind of modular parts and pieces so that you can really customize your G.I. Joe story. That's what we hear from fans over and over again, is how as kids, you didn't, like, you may have read the file cards, but you made up your own stories for your action figures to
100%.
their own adventures for them to go on. And so I think being able to kind of update this for this new generation of action figure collectors and kids who get to experience that is so cool. And I mean, like, the level of detail in all of these pieces, it may not come across great on camera right now, but just the texturing, the amount of detail, and I know the work that both of you and our entire development team put into this is absolutely next level. These are gorgeous.
Speaking of work that the whole team put in from a color standpoint, I think we were having some issues with the old school figure. If you guys remember, the green was a little bright. Yep. So I was like, Tony, I don't know what to do here.
Let's darken it.
Let's darken it.
But yeah, no, it still has that homage like that. That's always
we got problems.
Nice.
We got problems, and I love every one of them.
But yeah, that's it. We just took that old O-ring feel and just kind of give it a bit of a darker tone. The grays went a little bit more muted. And then I love the face. Of course, I always talk about the face prints every time. But this was just more kind of, we were thinking about it more of like a Ronin type look, a wandering samurai type situation. So we gave him some really cool facial hair. Something that you don't see is under this helmet, under the traditional helmet, is his classic looking face with the tight and a top bun, which is really funny because it just looks like this little nugget here, which you probably won't be able to see. But there's a top knot that is removable from the top of his head.
It makes the helmet fit better.
That makes the helmet fit better. But I love that this when the sculpt first came in, I was like, what is this? What is
That's
this?
actually the seed that grows another one.
Yeah, that's right. But I love the way the modern update to the classic helmet too. It's just, once you guys see those photos and the renders and see him in his classic armor as well, I think you're gonna be really excited. And also, can I tell you about one more thing?
Yes,
get in.
we can talk
Lenny-
about one more thing, and then we have to move on to the next item.
Lenny putting on that classic.
Oh, the Japanese logo. The Japanese
Super
logo
fun.
is so on point.
So good.
It's
Yeah.
really
We
cool.
need to get it in the line somewhere, and he
Yeah.
was the perfect character for it.
Nailed it.
Amazing. Perfect. Well, so Budo is part of our mainline offering, which means that he is going to be available wherever fine toys are sold. But
So yeah, Budo is really an awesome figure. I love the fact that they mentioned they used the Japanese G.I. Joe logo on him. That is like next level. I can't believe they did that. I love the update of his helmet from the vintage helmet. I love all that armor, that extra armor and stuff like that. I think this is going to be such an incredible figure to get in hand.
pre-orders, again, for Budo will launch at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Hasbro Pulse, and again, wherever lovely fine toys are sold.
Lovely fine toys.
Lovely fine toys today. All right, so last but not least, we've been talking about this one for a while. People are pretty excited about it. So let's bring out our MMS and our friend Hawk.
Yeah.
Now, see, this is an obvious thing that I've known for some time that we're going to probably be getting this, because we got the HMS last year with the Techno Viper, the Hiss Squad Techno Viper, whatever it's called. I don't know the name of it off the top of my head, but as soon as they did that, I knew we were going to get another one with Colonel Hawk. So this one wasn't a surprise when they revealed it, but it does look very awesome. I love the updates. I think it's going to be a really cool piece in hand.
Yes. As you guys can tell, we took the SMS and we G.I. Joe-ified it. So you can see here, we really went with the G.I. Joe green that we all know and love. What's cool is it will tow onto the Vamp and the All-Striker.
Nice.
Which is really exciting.
This is a really practical tow behind for an All-Striker.
It's a big All-Striker. The All-Striker is pretty big, to tell you guys the truth. And it was a big toy back in the day comparatively to the Vamp, so it is a large all-terrain vehicle. We have
I rescind my comment.
I rescind. Gotta roll the tongue on that one.
My apologies.
I rescind. So we have Colonel Hawk here, as you guys can see. His visor will flip up like such, which I'm really excited about.
Yes.
He has his con on there. Let's take his helmet off because I want to show everybody. I was very inspired by the old school comic and how, look at that flat top. You can put a coffee.
Amazing.
You can put a coffee on top of that thing.
That's funny in the line.
Yeah.
That's why I said it. Look at that thing. It's a table. Anyways, we're really excited. His name's on there. We also have the grease gun on the back on his holster. Maybe I'll spin it the other way. Sorry about that. And then it comes with, again, the blast effects that makes it like, to really set the battlefield out here. And of course, the rocking feature on the MMS still there, which is really exciting. And of course, it turns for what a setup you need to do. And we thought it was a really good connection to put the two of them together. If I'm remembering.
Yeah, that's interesting. Bobby Wold. I probably, you're right about that, because with the dog bones, it'll look like the dragonfly where it's leaving. I think that would have been a cool additional thing for this, especially because it is a missile launching system. I agree with you on that. I think that would have been a cool addition if they had done that.
Correctly. Believe my research when I was doing it. They're in the box together under the MMS. So I wanted him to be with him in the offering. So really exciting set. Some really fun new parts here. Love the head sculpt. I mean, look at that dude.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Just all the colors are working so well together too. And just it breathes G.I. Joe.
Yes. Yeah. Sure. I think we nailed the green here. And I think it's going to work across the line. So I'm really pumped.
Tony, was it interesting working on, I guess both of you could answer this question, but having, I know that you did with Outback, where you did kind of young Outback and then kind of old man Outback. What is it like to get to work on what is essentially the same character at two kind of different points in their lives?
Lenny?
Well,
you work very close with that sculptor and input. So
we had to down age him. So we looked at the old school sculpt, and there were some landmarks that we wanted to keep. So working with Matt, our sculptor, it was like, how do we down age him essentially? So I did my input. I'm like, here's what I think he kind of looks like. Then we go to the sculpt and we work it out, and it's like, yeah, it's close to the input, but like maybe his jowls are a little tighter, but you got to keep like his nose correct because maybe it's a little smaller than when he's older. So it's really fun to go back and forth. But I got to say, Matt kind of nailed it on the first round. Maybe it was like one round, maybe a half round, or like little things zhuzhing here and there. But figure came out awesome. I love this portrait. I love the fade. The factory did a really good job executing the fade from like, how like when blonde hair is tighter, it's darker, and then when it's taller, it's a little lighter. So it has a really nice, realistic vibe to it. So I'm pumped. I'm pumped here. Yeah, this guy's excited.
Couldn't tell that either of you were excited today.
Yeah. Yojo June.
Yojo June. Is there anything you would like to add to this, Tony? As an insight?
No, he covered a lot of it. The panel, as he's kind of pulling from right now, is removable, just like on the previous. But just again, this screams G.I. Joe to me. All the little decals that you show this. This action too. This is actually my favorite design that you put in there.
Oh, the hydraulic system, the little levers that work the hydraulic system. Of course, they're sculpted in, so they don't work. But those little details like that, I think, really help the photography come to life. And that's kind of part of some of the design elements that we choose. We're like, what's going to make photography really pop? Because it's such a huge part of the collector community in this hobby. So we want to help bring that to life.
I think it adds to all the realism too. It's the textures, it's those little details that you don't necessarily need to have, but having it makes it even more special.
Yeah.
And the fact they had the foresight that this tow hooker is adjustable to different vehicles I love that.
Yeah.
It worked out.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so great news. I have no idea how long we've been talking for, but I'm sure
forever.
It's fine. We once did a super live show where we talked for 2 hours and had no idea.
So yeah, that was the MMS with Colonel Hawk, and they were talking about how they had to de-age him, make him look younger. They gave him that flat top, the blonde hair. I like how they had the vintage visor where when he had that, it could fold up like that. I think that's a wonderful detail. I love how they added all the extra greeble and all the extra panels and all the extra stuff for the photographers out there that do some incredible work out there. I am not one of those people, but all the more power to those guys. I think you guys do wonderful, wonderful stuff. I love seeing that stuff. So yeah, let's continue.
I remember that. Oh, I sure do.
Some are still talking.
So just as a quick recap, so we did our 2 name-only reveals for today. That was our...
Steel Core Sentry with Defense Post.
Beautiful. And our...
Desert Scorpion and Pet Scorpion.
Perfect. And then we did our 3 digital render reveal / recaps, which were our All Striker and our new Legacy Police Officer and our Renegades Sergeant Slaughter and Mercer 2-pack.
Yes.
And then we have 3 pre-orders going live today. We have our Ninja Force Slice and Dice that will be our Hasbro Pulse exclusive, 12 p.m. Eastern Time for Hasbro Pulse Premium members, 1 p.m. Eastern Time for all other fans. Then we have Budo, who is a deluxe figure who is available at Hasbro Pulse and wherever fine toys are sold. And then we have Hawk and our MMS, which is going to be a Fanmazon item, which is essentially toy specialty retailers, Amazon, and Hasbro Pulse, with pre-orders launching live at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So I know that people are probably watching going, I wanted more pre-orders today. We've got a whole month. You're going to see us every week. We had to space this stuff out. So on that note, we will see you again next week with some more amazing news. Don't forget to follow along with all of RPM's amazing Cold Slither updates at Cold Slither Official. And other than that, we will see you next week. And we'll want to do a Yo-Jo to close her out.
Absolutely.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Yo-Jo!
Hey, G.I. Joe fans.
Figure came out awesome. I love this port.
Our All Striker and our new Legacy Police Officer and our Renegades Sergeant Slaughter and Mercer 2-pack.
Yes.
And then we have 3 pre-orders going live today. We have our Ninja Force Slice and Dice that will be our Hasbro Pulse exclusive, 12 p.m. Eastern Time for Hasbro Pulse Premium members, 1 p.m. Eastern Time for all other fans. Then we have Budo, who is a deluxe figure who is available at Hasbro Pulse and wherever fine toys are sold. And then we have Hawk and our MMS, which is going to be a Fanmazon item, which is essentially toy specialty retailers, Amazon, and Hasbro Pulse, with pre-orders launching live at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So I know that people are probably watching going,
Okay, so yes, they made a mistake with the pre-order time. They said the Pulse exclusive Slice and Dice was going to be at 12 o'clock, but it turned out that everything was at 1 o'clock for the Pulse Premium members. So that was a mistake. Bobby Wold. That was a mistake. I still was able to order all of mine. I got 2 of each like I usually do. But yeah, they did make a slip up there. So hopefully they talk about that in the next one and they make sure that those times are accurate.
I wanted more pre-orders today. We've got a whole month. You're going to see us every week. We had to space this stuff out. So on that note, we will see you again next week with some more amazing news. Don't forget to follow along with all of RPM's amazing Cold Slither updates at Cold Slither Official. And other than that, we will see you next week. And we'll want to do a Yo-Jo to close her out.
Absolutely.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Yo-Jo! Now, so they said it there that they're going to be having a Pulse event every single week for all of Yo-Jo June. So next Wednesday, there's going to be another event. The following Wednesday, there'll be another event. And the following Wednesday, there'll be another event. It'll all be surrounding the Joe Fest. So Joe Fest will be going on the weekend in between the last 2 events. So stay tuned to that. I'm sure it's going to be really cool. And I look forward to what they're going to show next week. I have a couple of ideas of what that's going to be. It should be pretty cool. But they weren't done. They did a little sneaky end thing here because Emily was trying to get back at Lenny and Tony for showing that Zartan the last event after she left. So she stayed behind and did another couple of sneaky little things here.
Hey, G.I. Joe fans. 2 quick things now that the stream is over and Lenny and Tony have left and gone somewhere else.
first, now that everybody is in the know on kind of who is behind our amazing Cold Slither activation for this year, wanted to give you a behind-the-scenes look at Zartan, our shadowy front man, warming up. So we're going to throw it over to Gus for a quick check-in. Amazing. I cannot wait to see more of our Cold Slither activation at San Diego Comic-Con this year, especially the phenomenal concert that we have planned. So we hope to see you all there. And again, to stay in the loop on all of the latest Cold Slither information, make sure you are checking out those official social channels. But don't think I don't remember that Luddy and Tony waited until I left on the last fan stream to drop that information about Cold Slither. So now I am going to be returning the favor. So great news. I am happy to announce that we are officially launching our next G.I. Joe Classified Series HasLab at the end of Yojo June. But, you know, it's cool. I don't begrudge them hanging out until the end of the stream to drop some information. But, you know, the next HasLab, it's pretty chill. We're really excited about it. So stay tuned for more information. So again, the campaign will be launching before the end of Yojo June. So more information to come for the rest of the month, and stay tuned. Keep it frosty. Have a great time, and we'll see you soon.
So yeah, so she dropped a hint for the HasLab, and she kept saying interesting words like chill and frosty, and then there was some snowflakes dropping at the end of that video. Bobby World, with all those hints she was dropping, it is obviously an Arctic buzz boy. Yeah, I don't think so. But that's funny, though. It would be cool to have a buzzboard just by itself, but not an Arctic one. But I'm going to go into what I believe it is. I could be completely wrong, but I'm going to try. So here we go. So based on that, I believe we are going to be getting the Snowcat. And the Snowcat is very comparable to the Hiss. So that's the Snowcat right there. And that's the Hiss. I'm going to change this video to full screen. Hold on. Let me get myself back to full screen. There. So the full screen, there's the Hiss, and there's the Snowcat. Now, if you look at those, these are the vintage versions. They are very, very comparable to one another. The Hiss is probably smaller than the Snowcat in diameter and width. Maybe height, it's a little bit bigger, but if you look at the width and the depth of it, it is definitely bigger than the Hiss. So I think if they're going to do this, it's going to be pretty big. And there's a lot of different things they can include. There's this removable panel on the back for accessories. There's ski missiles. There's the missile launcher. There's the hatch where you can fit two characters in there. There's different places where you can attach two figures on the back. Let's see. Yeah, that's true. You're right about that, Bobby Will. There was a tease of an avalanche in the back, but there's lots of teases. There was a tease on the Budo package. I think it was the Budo package where there was another ninja in the background. Or no, it was the video footage, the video reveals of Budo. There was a figure in the background that everybody's thinking it's Bushido. I'm thinking it could be like some odd character, maybe like Iceberg or something like that, because it's a white character with a little blue in the middle. Yeah, Bushido has that color scheme, but so does Iceberg. And since we're going to be getting an ice related HasLab, maybe we'll get an Iceberg with Frostbite. We're definitely going to get Frostbite. But so I think this would look really cool. Maybe they would upgrade it like they did with the Hiss, because the Hiss that they did the HasLab for is definitely an updated version of a Hiss. It was not your average Hiss. There was so much extra stuff, lights and sounds and all kinds of different ways to incorporate figures in there. You could put them inside. There was a troop holder in there. I think the same thing for this is going to end up happening. They're going to be updated versions, and there's going to be a lot of cool stuff that they're going to add to it. And I'm thinking maybe we may end up with maybe an Arctic Steel Core, since we've got Arctic Bats, maybe with possibly, obviously, Frostbite, maybe a Tiger Force Blizzard, because they've been doing these Palatoy characters. We've gotten Quarrel, we've gotten different characters. I'm trying to think of other. We got Tiger Force Outback, that was a British version. We've got who's the other female? I can't think of her name. Tell me in the chat. Can't think of the other Palatoy British female character that came out with um, oh, Glenda. Glenda was with the HasLab Dragonfly. So we got Glenda, we got Quarrel, we got Dragon, we got Tiger Force Outback. So I think it's very, very likely we're going to get a Tiger Force Blizzard. And that means eventually we'll get a regular Blizzard. So they've always done those type of things. They've added weird things, like they've done like Ripcord and Crazy Legs. They were Night Force. And then there was different versions of troopers with the Hiss as well. Different renders that Ron Rudat did, color studies and so forth, so on. And then a different vintage Cobra Commander with the Mickey Mouse. So they do these deep cuts that are in the lore. Maybe not a lot of people would want them as a regular figure, but to add them to a HasLab just deepens the HasLab and makes it a better HasLab for all that extra stuff. So I'm hoping they do 4 figures with this, and we get a couple of really cool deep cuts, like I said, maybe it's Arctic Steel Core, maybe a Frostbite, maybe Iceberg, maybe a Tiger Force Blizzard. I think that would be really cool. Maybe they'll even add some extra like armaments and stuff to maybe change the Snowcat to Tiger Force. That would be kind of cool, like extra, like the missile launcher, different aspects of it you can interchange and make it both Tiger Force and the regular Snowcat. That would be totally awesome if we could get something like that. But I don't know if they would do both versions, or down the road maybe we get a scaled down version of the Snowcat as a Tiger Force, like a kind of a pulse a type of thing where you could get it like that. Yeah, it's interesting. Quinn's a very interesting character because they have not done a lot of homages to the comics in Classified. A lot of the things that they've done are from the Sunbow animated series. They've pulled heavily from the Sunbow animated series, and I don't believe Quinn appeared in any of the animated episodes. The October Guard have, so maybe you could get a Dana or Brekoff or Stormovich or somebody like that from the October Guard. That would be a really deep dive. I don't know if they would add somebody like that to a Tiger Force, a Snowcat HasLab. That would be a really interesting thing. If they did that, then we would have to get all of them, and I don't see them doing that. I do see them doing it as like a San Diego Comic-Con set, like they did the Cold Slither set. So we're getting all the Cold Slither at the band set. Maybe we get the whole original October Guard, maybe 4 or 5 of the figures, but who knows? But that's very interesting. Quinn, I would love to get a Quinn, and I think you're right. I think if we're going to get him, it'll probably be in the main line, but I don't know. That's an interesting one, Bobby World. So overall, I think the stream was really, really good. I think they did a really good job. There was a lot of new elements that they added. There was a lot of new reveals, a lot of new little tidbits, and then some of the old stuff like the slice and dice that was added things, Budo that was added things, Crankcase and the Ostriker there were added bits and stuff. I like all that they added. Yeah, I saw the first one that they offered this past year, Bobby World, of the October Guard. So I don't know, but that has not stopped Hasbro from doing classifieds because somebody did a crystal ball, somebody did a quick kick, and monkey wrench was done by SoCal Joe Show as well. So that has not stopped Hasbro from doing things if they want to do things. So, but I do think those custom ones are really cool, nonetheless. Um, so I love all the cheeky banter with Emily and Tony and Lenny, and I love the sneaky bit with the HasLab. So we are getting a HasLab. They said it's going to be revealed at the end of Yojo June, so that's cool. I can't wait for that. So far, every one of these is sold out in probably a day, or has funded in a day, not sold out, funded in a day. So we're probably going to get it during San Diego Comic-Con, like I suspected. I talked about that in my last video, one of my last earlier videos, and on one of the other. I was on the Circle of Jerks and I talked about it, and I was also on Toy Talk with Terry Ruin and Dan Thompson. So I'm glad we're getting a HasLab, and I'm glad that it's a different type of HasLab. I was thinking we're going to get some sort of a tank of some sort, like a modular type tank with different turrets and different drivers and things. And I still think we're eventually going to get that. It's just a matter of time. But I'm glad they mixed it up and gave us something fun, something different for this HasLab. So I think they did a really good job with this PulseCon. I look forward to what they're going to show next week. So I also wanted to show my Dr. Mindbender vintage figure came in. So I'm very happy that he came in. So now I have all my vintage new figures, my Rock and Roll, my Viper, and my Dr. Mindbender. And he looks really cool. So when I get to him as my classified review, I will use a little bit of this to show. But he has a lot of cool accessories. I know for a fact that he's got the cape with the Cobra on the back of it. So when we get to him, and we'll open that up, and we'll talk about that with his actual classified review, which is not that far away actually. He's in the 40s, I think. So look at that big file card. So I'm very happy to have him, and I want you guys to keep an eye out for my 100th sub anniversary special. That'll be in the next couple days. I'm getting everything ready for that, and I look forward to that. So I hope you enjoyed this Hasbro Pulse review, and look forward to these. I hope every week. I'm going to try to do one every week to keep up with all these things. So anybody have any questions or anything before I get out of here? No? Alrighty then. So I'm going to do what Lenny and Emily and Tony did, and I'm going to end this with Yo Joe!